Welcome back to IGN's E3 Live show. Now, everyone knows that Peter Parker can do whatever a spider can, but you still may be surprised by the latest Spider-Man game. Shattered Dimensions shows Spidey in a brand new light, so let's now welcome Beanox to the show.
Hey guys, this is Rich, Editor-in-Chief of the IGN Comics channel, and I'm here with Thomas from Beanox and Dee from Activision, and they're going to show us a little bit about Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. So let's walk into it, guys. I mean, you guys unveiled this around WonderCon, yep. And you know, this is a bit of a departure for a Spider-Man game, right? So why don't you guys tell us a little bit about what Shattered Dimensions is all about?
Sure. Well, the whole concept really started when we knew we were going to be working on a Spider-Man game. We asked ourselves what we could bring into the world of the video game that had never been seen before in a Spider-Man game. So we looked at the entire comic book lore, the Marvel comic book lore, and we looked specifically at what had been done in the past with the Spider-Man. And we realized that there were all these worlds, dimensions, if you will, that had not been seen in a video game. So like the first one we're looking at right now is Spider-Man Noir, and you know, it's brand new. But we fell in love with the idea of actually being able to play Spider-Man in the 1930s, you know, in that sort of dark era. And looking also at the other dimensions, it was the same thing. So bringing the concept of being able to play different Spider-Man within one game felt like it was something unique.
Now, each Spider-Man, as I understand it, has kind of their own unique gameplay mechanics and functionality. So can you tell us a little bit about that, and specifically about Noir and what we're seeing here?
Yes, definitely. So if we're talking about Noir, we're talking about stealth. Specifically for that dimension, we're slowing down the pace of the experience. You know, we're moving away from open world game. We're talking about this level-based game. And this time around, you're in an amusement park inspired by Coney Island. You're after Norman Osborn, Goblin, if you will, the big crime lord. And all the levels in Noir takes place at night, and you really have to take advantage of the shadows. And when you're shadows, you're hidden. We desaturate the palette of the environment so you know that you're hidden. We change also the animation. But when you're in the light, then you know all the colors come in. But also the idea is that if you're being seen, then you're gonna get shot. And guns in the Spider-Man Noir universe definitely, you know, do a lot of damage. So you really have to take the enemies down one by one. And we reward the player with multiple takedown animations depending on where they're located, where they're doing their, you know, the takedown. So we have, you know, you can take down people from a crawling position. You can be perched up high, right behind a character, next to a wall. So yeah, that's how we approach gameplay for the Spider-Man Noir specifically.
And there's also all, everything about the atmosphere of the game. I mean, the Spider-Man Noir, it was something that we really looked forward to, like when we were looking at all the different Spider-Man, because Noir was so completely different, like completely different than the typical like amazing character that you know.
Sure.
So we really built like a universe that is completely different from what you're kind of expecting. The atmosphere is going to be very kind of dark, a bit like very different. So that's something we're really going to offer the fan that they've never seen before in a Spider-Man game.
Now tell the viewers a little bit about the villains that they're going to see in Noir. I mean, you mentioned Goblin. I mean, are there any others that you can tell us about right now?
Yes, we've already revealed Hammerhead, and it was great to actually bring this character into the Noir universe. Because at first that's a classic, amazing villain, but we're talking to Marvel and saying, you know, asking them if we could bring him into the mix. They were okay, and they were definitely on board with that. So we were able to bring Hammerhead. We have Osborn. The other villain has not been revealed yet.
Okay.
But still, it was cool to actually be able to bring these guys and put them in the 1930s.
Okay.
One thing that we can be adding, as Dee was talking about the mood of the environment, it's important to talk about the different art styles because each of the themes have a different art style. In this case, we really went for a Frank Miller approach to the thing, like film noir type treatment. When you're in shadows, you have a rim light effect on the character that feels like he's coming out of the comic. So that was really important for us to have that distinct art direction for that theme. Also, one thing you might notice as we're seeing in the demo, there's fireworks going off once in a while, but it's not just because it's the 4th of July. It's really because it's actually part of the gameplay.
Okay.
When the fireworks go off, you really have to focus when that happens because it lights up the entire environment. So if you thought you were in the shadow but you were located next to an enemy, you'll definitely get spotted. So it's really important for you to actually pay attention to when they explode, and that's part of that complicates a little bit stealth for players.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I guess from there we could probably move on to Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, absolutely. So now, when you guys were considering the Amazing Spider-Man, universe, what was important for you to capture, versus how you did Noir? Noir is all about stealth. what are we seeing in Amazing Spider-Man that really sets it apart?
Well, in Amazing Spider-Man, that's a character that everybody's come to love. That's the one character that everybody's familiar with. We had to have him in the game, and what's important, talking about what we wanted to do for Amazing, it's important to talk about the art style itself.
Yeah.
We wanted to pay tribute to the old comic book genre.
Sure.
So what we really did was to really have a character, a treatment that was sort of a pen and ink treatment. Mm-hmm. So coming out of a comic book almost like if it was alive. So we have basically a dark outline on everything, so it feels like it's been drawn. The texture treatment is a little flatter, but that way it feels like it's old school comic book like.
Sure.
And so if we're talking about what we wanted to, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, that's for the artistic direction.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot of different things on the gameplay side as well. We really wanted to make, like each of our 4 Spider-Man really has something specific to their gameplay. In this case,